What's going on, guys? It's Greg Dies, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 3 newest and most popular helmets in lacrosse. I'll compare them head to head and give you guys my overall opinion on what I think you should be wearing for the 2022 season. So our contenders today, like I said, the 3 newest helmets. We have the new Cascade XRS helmet. This is the newest of the bunch. We were generously given from the PLL this nice Canon ones to take a look at. Then we've got the STX Rival helmet. I think this may have come out least recently, so STX might be working on an upgrade. I don't know. I made that up. That's not a fact, so don't quote me on that. And then finally, the Warrior Burn helmet. And I have worn all 3 of these and done individual reviews on them, so if you want in depth, you can take a look at those individual reviews here on our channel. But today we'll be comparing head to head to see how they stack up. So first up, let's talk about price. For a lot of you, this is a big deal. Some of you guys get team helmets, some of you buy them individually. It really depends. So we're gonna take a look at the uncustomized price for the very base model, because when you start adding chrome, custom chin straps, and face masks, it does add cost, and that's different for each of these. So the Burn and the Rival are both gonna be the same price at $249.99, 250 bucks. That's obviously, just in absolute terms, not cheap. $250 is a lot of money, but you should have your helmet for a couple of years, and it does also protect the most important part of your body. So it is kind of important to have an up-to-date and new helmet. So $250 for the base, Burn, and Rival models. And then the newest, the Cascade XRS, $300. It's their highest end model. It's $50 more expensive, so about 20% more expensive than the others. It is the newest, and prices do tend to go up over time with inflation and just the increased cost of materials, but absolutely the most expensive in the XRS. So if you're price conscious, you're gonna give the win in the price category to the 2 cheaper models, the Burn and the Rival, which are gonna get you in there for $250, $50 less than the Cascade XRS. They do say, there's probably some trade-off in value and price. It's hard to tell because these models are older, so when they release a new one, they might come up to that $300 price point. Next up, let's talk about weight. When you're talking about your head, this is kind of important because you really can feel that extra weight. And so for this one, we have another tie. The heaviest one is gonna be the STX Rival. This came in on our scale with the chin strap and the decals on at 3 pounds. The other 2, the XRS and the Burn, were exactly the same, again with the decals and the chin straps on at 2.5 pounds. So just like the other one, the Rival is gonna be about 20-25% heavier than the other 2. And when I picked them up, as soon as I picked up the Rival to weigh it on the scale, I could feel it was gonna be the heaviest one. It's a little front heavy. I think the cage is just thicker, and the whole thing in general is more built like a football helmet, just more plastic, more padding. It's just a heavier helmet. So if you're weight conscious, you're gonna give the tie to the Burn and the XRS. Now we're talking about custom options. So all these have online custom builders that are a ton of fun to play with. I used to mess around with them in college all the time and build all kinds of cool things. And it's hard to tell because they all have many different options in the different categories. From what I could tell on the online customizers, the XRS has the most options, especially for the shell. So they have the matte navy, which is what you're looking at here, all the gloss colors, and then they have 3 chromes plus a platinum. These ones might have more options, but they didn't have many chromes. The Burn did have a couple chromes and more mattes, and the Rival had every color available in matte. So if you want chrome, you're getting the most options out of the Cascade XRS. If you like the matte look, you're actually gonna get more options in the Burn and the Rival, because the only matte here is the navy. These ones had pretty much every color in matte. And personally, the chrome is cool looking. I don't think it holds up all that well. I think it does tend to chip. I think the matte is actually a better look. And so custom options overall, I think you're gonna be in the XRS, but as far as cool look, I really like the different matte options that the Burn and the Rival have. And finally, a really important part, which is fit and comfort. I've tried all these helmets on, so from at least from my head and my personal preference, a lot of this stuff does come down to your personal preference. The Rival, I'm gonna rank at number 3. It does fit more like a football helmet, so if you love a helmet from football, this is obviously shut, you're gonna love the Rival because it fits just like that. It's really snug. I found it to have a little bit of a pressure point on the forehead here. They do have this air system, which is the same thing Shut does for their football helmets, which is really easy and also inflates it kind of all around your head for a custom fit. No adjustment for the back, only the air system. So I would give the STX Rival the number 3 rating. Number 2, is the Burn. Now, I've heard a lot of people don't like the way that it fits. I wore it for almost a whole summer, and I actually love the way that it fits. It rode really low on my head. It didn't have any pressure points. It was super comfortable. It felt light. It was just, when I had it on, it wasn't really thinking about it. It just fit really well. And I do like the BOA system that they have back here is the adjustment. So it's got these wires controlled in tension by this knob, so it can come in tighter just like that and make sure it's going to be snug on your head. I like the way this fits. Some people don't. I will say my BOA adjuster broke in very few men's league games, so that might be a point of weakness for it. I'm gonna rank this one as number 2. My number 1 best fitting helmet I'm gonna rank right now as the XRS. When I put it on, it just felt perfect. There weren't pressure points. I found it to be more comfortable than the R and the S were. I think the R, or the S I should say, had some pressure points. I think they really dialed it in with the new fit. They have all these new pads in here that they had some fancy tech word for how it fit, but overall it just fit really well. And I like this adjuster in the back here. It's super simple, easy to adjust on the fly. The only thing people complain about here is that when you put it on the ground, it adjusts itself up. So every time you put your helmet down and then want to put it back on, you've got to loosen it, put it on, then tighten it. So it's not permanent, kind of like these would be, kind of, or always fiddling with it. But overall, I'm ranking the fit and comfort of the XRS as number 1 out of this group. Finally, something to take into account is the looks. Some people think that the XRS has gone a little overboard in making it look kind of like a supercar with all these cuts and vents. It's definitely gotten to be a more complex and busy helmet. The Rival is certainly the most simple with really clean, streamlined lines. And initially when it came out, people didn't like the way that it looked, but I think people have really gotten used to it and are starting to like the college versions that they're coming out with. I think the teams look really clean in them now. And finally, the Burn. I thought when I had this helmet on, the tilt at least was the best. When I posted a photo, maybe I just wear my helmet really low, but people like the tilt a lot. And I think the lines of this actually look really good. I don't like the really big bulky chin piece, but if this is the same color, it kind of blends in, and I think the lines work well. So obviously how you like the way it looks is a personal preference thing, but those are the different notes on the 3 helmets. So when I'm playing, if I was going to rank them of which ones I would rather wear, number 1 is the XRS, my favorite helmet out right now. It's what I'll be wearing when I'm playing. Number 2 is the Warrior Burn. Like I said, I played almost a whole summer in this helmet, and while some people did not like the way it looked and don't like the way it felt, for me personally it worked really well. And the last one is the XTX Rival. I'd rank that as number 3. It's a good helmet. It's a huge improvement on what they've done before. I hope that they're working on a new one with Shut, because I think that they can take all the improvements from the Stallion to the Rival and make another one that's going to be on the level of the XRS. And I think the Burn as well, they're both aging, and so you can probably expect updates. They're going to get it to be a really competitive field. So let me know what you guys think, what your ranking would be down in the comments. I'd love to hear what your personal preference is if you're wearing any of these. Make sure to like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.